Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Bible Thoughts with Daniel. I don't know if that's going to be the name of this segment for long. I haven't really thought of a good name for it, and so I need your help. If you have any suggestions for what to call this segment, please email me, and I'll take the best suggestion and I'll feature it on the next segment. Um, but anyway, the purpose of this little video is just to take a short Bible passage or thought that I've been thinking about today and discuss it with you. Uh, just give you my thoughts, give you what's popped up in my head. Read a Bible passage and then allow you to respond to it by posting back on email your thoughts or your questions or your insights into the matter. And so my email address is fbc.daniel@brightok.net. And so I welcome any responses, any suggestions, any questions. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, please put it on there. Um, if if you'd like to have a suggestion on what to do in this segment, I'll listen to suggestions, and um, I want this to um, just grow and evolve slowly into something that's very useful for you in your Christian walk. So today's topic is honesty. And the reason that topic popped up is during my personal Bible study time. That was the topic of the day. It was honesty. And so I read a few passages in the Bible dealing with honesty. And I started to think about the world we live in today and how we have started to, well, somewhere along the line, we have valued comfort and convenience over honesty. Why did this happen, and how did we let it happen? And and as a culture, do we um, how do we rationalize the use of dishonesty as an everyday uh, thing? It it started to these thoughts started running through my head and started to bother me a little bit, mainly because of the way that I see dishonesty in my life, in a lot of areas of my own life. And so um, so I wanted to just talk about it, read the passage, and see what you think. So uh, the passage comes from Colossians. That's one of the passages I read today. Colossians chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. And in it, the Apostle Paul is writing to the church, to the Colossians, and it says, "Do not lie to one another, since you laid aside the old self with its evil practices, and have put on the new self, who is being renewed to a true knowledge, according to the image of the one who created him." In this passage, Paul is being very clear about uh, the old self and how one of the characteristics of the old self, that is, before Christ, was dishonesty and lying to one another. And he describes this as an evil practice. And then he says, in contrast, one of the characteristics of the new self is honesty, and the new self being after Christ. And so Paul paints a picture of black and white. There was before, which is dishonest, and then there's the after, right, which is honest. And so I started thinking about the ways to be dishonest in all the areas of my life, and I started looking back on my life as well. And so I start looking at the different areas of life where dishonesty rears its ugly head. And so you think about school, if you're a student. In school, how easy it is to be dishonest in your schoolwork or in testing. And of course, we're talking about cheating here. Sometimes it's really easy or even encouraged to cheat. Somehow you get a sense of accomplishment in the getting away with cheating on a test or cheating on your schoolwork. You give in to the peer pressure of cheating off of your friends or letting them cheat off of you. And somehow in society, that's become something that we just look the other way and we say, oh, students are students. It's been a part of academic life for a very long time and it's never going to change. Well, maybe for the world, that has become a way to do things. Maybe cheating has become a way to use your resources. I've heard that a lot. But in the eyes of God, that is dishonesty. And it's very clear that it is an evil practice. And so I think of all the times in my own life when cheating has been an issue, and it saddens me to think that I brought shame to God's name in that instance. And so I think about now about work. You know, what are the opportunities to be dishonest at work? Well, there are some obvious ways like stealing office supplies or lying to your coworkers or lying to your boss. I mean, you know, how easy it is to pick up the phone and call in sick when all you really want to do is go to the game or take a mental health day or whatever. Um, and we get really good at rationalizing um, what being sick is. You know, oh, I'm tired today. I'm exhausted. It's a sick day. You know, we get good at that, and in the end, it turns out that we're being dishonest, and that brings shame to God's name. And then, what about relationships? Uh, it's become acceptable to sometimes do little white lies or disguise the truth or bend the facts a little bit, and we tell ourselves that we're protecting our loved one by protecting them from the whole truth. We say to ourselves, well, if they knew the truth, if they knew the whole truth, they would be hurt. And so, in order not to hurt them, I'm going to lie a little bit. I'm going to twist the facts. I'm going to be dishonest. Unfortunately, ultimately, we're really being cruel to that person, to our loved one, to our good friends, because we're keeping the truth from them. We are not doing what God wants us to do, and that's be completely honest. And and so it becomes really easy to be dishonest, and we start valuing this idea of convenience and comfort. Oh, I'm protecting somebody, or I'm even protecting myself. And ultimately, that's what we're doing. We're protecting ourselves from an unpleasant experience through dishonesty. And it's shocking how easy it is to fall into that. And I say to myself, you know, I consider myself a pretty honest person. Uh, I do the things that are expected of me. I don't flat out lie to people's faces. But then I start looking at my everyday interactions, and I can see how easy it would be to be dishonest with people, and how that could be a constant area of struggle for me. And and then I think about you guys out there, and there are different opportunities in your lives also that dishonesty can be an area of struggle. And that's why I wanted to talk about this topic today. Um, when we look at it through the eyes of men, it can be really easy to justify being dishonest. Not necessarily flat out lying, but bending the truth or omitting facts or changing the facts of a certain situation in order not to look bad or in order not to be blamed for something. And ultimately that's being dishonest. And so what I have done in my own life today is I've challenged myself to one day of complete honesty. Uh, so today, I've challenged myself to really focus on my interactions with people and everything that I do. The question is going to run through my head: am I bringing honor to God's name, or am I bringing shame to God's name with what I'm doing? And so it's making me a little nervous. I'm a little scared about this because of how it's going to force me. That question is going to force me to be really honest with people today. And so I'd like to extend the challenge to you. Uh, do one day. Try to make it one day, being brutally honest. And there's a difference between being honest and being unnecessarily blunt with people. That's not what I'm talking about. Um, you know, I don't want you to go to your coworker who has something that's bugging you, and just because you want to be honest, you tell them, I hate the way you laugh, or I hate the way you do this, or I hate the way you do that. That's being unnecessary. I'm talking about uh, owning up to your actions. If you mess up, make sure you apologize to the people that you affect. Um, in school, be completely honest with your schoolwork. Be honest with your teachers or your professors. Be honest with your classmates. At work, be honest with your coworkers and your boss. Uh, if something unpleasant happens, just be honest about it. That's the challenge in your relationships. You spend a little too much money from your budget on something that your spouse wouldn't understand. Uh, don't try to hide it. Be honest about it. Talk about it. Talk it out. Um, you accidentally let the dog out when you weren't supposed to. Own up to it. See what happens. Uh, that's the challenge. And if it were an easy thing to do, it wouldn't really be a challenge, would it? So I'm challenging myself, and I'm going to pray about it. My prayer today is going to be, in everything that I do, I need to ask myself, am I bringing honor to God's name, or am I bringing shame to God's name? And so I want to hear how you did. Email me uh, after you've tried it for a day. See what worked, what didn't work. See if you struggled. See if you were successful. And I'll do the same thing. The next time I post a video up, I'll let you know how it went for me, and see if I struggled, what areas I struggled with, and what areas I succeeded in. And I look forward to hearing from you. And also look forward to hearing your suggestions for the name for this segment. And so once again, my email is fbc.daniel@brightok.net. And thank you for watching, and hope you have a wonderful day.